Hello there, and welcome to today's live broadcast. I'm super excited that all of you have found time to join us for this very exciting session. And I'm super excited to see all of you joining in and connecting to this live broadcast. So as you're connecting in, kindly on the comment section down below here, I'd like you to write your name and tell us where you're watching us from. And in case you are in a group setup, you're quite a number, it's okay. You can also tell us where you're watching us from and give us the names of all the people that you're watching with, so that we are able to welcome all of you and have this fun session all together. And again, if you have any question, comment, or concern, the comment section below here, again, very useful. Kindly post your comments, questions, and concern, and be able to take a look at them and see how best to address that. So today, in this live broadcast, we are super excited and honored that we are joined by a very interesting guest from far, far away the continent, all the way from Ghana. And we have Mr. Musa Frimpong, who is joining us in our Dadaab freelancing team. Feel welcomed, Mr. Musa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So you'll just introduce yourself, and I know you want to support us to understand the aspects of fear and how it comes in about, and we are really excited for that. Sweep it over, Musa. Back to you.
Thank you so much, James, for the wonderful introduction, and I'm happy to join you all wherever you are. I'm excited to join you for this wonderful session. And my name is Musa Frimpong, and briefly about me is I'm very passionate about the things I do. And just to give you a bit of my background, my bachelor degree was in mathematics from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology here in Ghana, and that is where my career today as a development practitioner, as a career coach, as a youth coach, and everything that I do today started from. So from there, I did a 1-year national service at the University Counseling Department, and from there, I was on a freelance after my college. And you know what is interesting is that when you finish college like that, you are with your parents, we want you to start life, we want you to get a stable job, get married, have kids. And some of us decided after college you'll be a freelancer. And so I was freelancing until I got an opportunity to travel to Turkey, Istanbul for a short course. And when I came back, I was still doing freelancing until I got an opportunity to also volunteer at the Africa Union Commission. So I left Ghana somewhere in the year 2015 to start a journey at the Africa Union office in Addis Ababa, and where I was a field officer for the Africa Union Youth Volunteer Program, which is the most biggest continental youth program that we have in the continent. So I was there for 2 years until I also got an opportunity to go to China to further my studies, and I completed just last year, summer, that's July, a master's in international development and governance. So that's briefly a bit about me. And today I'm excited to share with you over 2 decades of personal development and going through this journey. And just to give you one interesting background, I think my life as an independent person started very early at when I was in grade school, at around when I was about 8 years or so. So I started seeing myself, even in my father's house, I started being independent and doing my own thing in my father's house. So that's where my independent life started. And for me, today when I look back, I can confidently say that that kind of life shape I got in that early stage contributed to who I am today. So I'm a bit excited to share with you one of the interesting topics that constantly, me myself, I am battling with it on daily basis, and I guess every one of us working on this planet is battling with the concept of fear. And today we are confronted with one of the biggest fear of our life. That is we are faced with this global pandemic, and we are expected to wash our hands. We are expected to social distance. We are expected to cover our faces and cover ourselves and all that. So we are confronted with one of the most, let me say, one of the biggest fear of our lives. And as individuals, what is in for us? So fear, in a simple definition, is an emotional feeling that you get. It's an emotional reaction that you get when you are confronted with a danger, a harm, or some pain. So these three things should be very clear to us. Let's write it down: the pain, a harm, or the danger. So pain is very important for our lives because that also defines who we are. It also tells us where we need to go, where we need not to go. And also, like we all know, life cannot be that so straightforward. Sometimes it is this emotions or this aspect of our life that makes it very exciting to live. So fear, it has always been with us, and it will continue to be with us. I want to give you a typical example, not from any background, but one of the persons I came across when I was reading about fear was Prophet Moses, my namesake Musa. So he was one of the most fearful persons you can ever think about, and anytime he was even called upon by God to go on a journey or to go do something, he always expressed his fear. He always had that fear that always wanted to take him away from it. So a typical example is when he got the first call, he told God that I don't have the voice, I don't have the courage. My voice is not even good. I cannot do this kind of work you are giving me. So, but God who created us knows who we are. He knows our weaknesses, he knows our strengths. So one of the things Musa requested was that he bring his brother Harun to be his helper in this journey. And one of the dangerous things that he did was when he confronted Pharaoh to get the people of Israel out of Egypt. So he had a lot of fear embarking on that journey. But at the end of the day, let's look at what happened. He went there, he succeeded in defeating Moses and his entourage. He succeeded in getting the people of Israel out of Egypt. He succeeded in dividing the Red Sea to get the people of Israel out of the bondage. So this is one of the typical examples for me what fear does in our lives. And so for us, especially as freelancers, I want to congratulate everyone for this, because one of the most difficult decisions you ever take in your career is to go on a freelance, because probably, and this is so unpopular, because today, are you going to tell your parents I'm a freelancer? There's no job description anywhere that our parents, the older generation don't know what is called a freelance. So today, if you tell anybody you're a freelancer, it looks awkward. It looks something like what do you mean by that, especially in our part of the world. But let me congratulate all of you for embarking on that journey, and especially if we look at the COVID period that we find ourselves, one of the most significant jobs, one of the most significant people who have been who are getting opportunities in this period are freelancers. Because if you were having a full-time job and you have lost your job, a lot of people are staying home and they have certain skill sets, certain things that you can do. So I've given you some background to it, but let me also use my personal life as an example. I must say I'm a person who is always having that kind of emotion. Some of you who might have read about my background or some of the things I've done, and always, because some of us didn't come from that affluent background where opportunities were readily available, or where you could easily find mentors, or where you could easily see people you aspire to be. We came from the villages, we came from that background where we had, growing up, my village had no electricity, we had, we used kerosene or lighting to learn. That's where I came from. But I think one of the significant things I've learned is how, as an individual, you build yourself. So for me, one of the most significant weapon for you to defeat fear is personal development. So I think my father or my parents did a good job by instilling in us some kind of skill set, some kind of life skills that so one of the important things I want to mention here is life skills. So life skills is so important and so vital to you, and especially when you are faced with fear, because fear disguises itself in so many forms, and it comes in so many ways that sometimes you can't describe, and you are faced with opportunities. And today, one of the things I want to say is that especially in our freelancing job, in our corporate job, I started professional coaching job during this lockdown, just about a month or two ago, that I decided that of all the things I've learned, of all the things I've gone through, let me package it and get it out there. That decision was difficult because coaching is not known in our part of the world. Who is a coach? Are you a football coach? Which team are you coaching? That's the questions you obviously get. I only say you are a career coach, you are a life coach. This is a profession that is not readily available. One of the career advice I got when I finished my bachelor's degree was somebody telling me that you are so talented, you have so many skills, but this kind of skills you have is not, you can't succeed in Africa. You have to travel. And that was some of the advice I got at that time. But I was also very stubborn in defeating that kind of fear, that kind of danger, that kind of pain, that kind of harm that was on my way. So gradually, I've been able to live beyond all those things. So one of the significant things that will help us to overcome fear is life skills. And life skills is not something you learn in the school. Life skills is not something nobody sits you down and teaches you. Today we are learning about life skills. This concept of fear is one significant component of life skills that everybody should learn, and how to deal with it. So fear, like I said, it comes from within yourself, because when you look at a boxer in a boxing ring, or look at a typical game like chess, or let me say this game they play, Chinese will call it ping pong, I don't know what, tennis, table tennis. One of the difficult things that all of us don't know, like even long tennis, look at the people playing long tennis. One of the typical difficult things that we all don't know is the internal decision processes that they process within a second or within a minute. So these guys, when they find themselves in that few minutes in the boxing ring, or on the table tennis court, or on the long tennis court, these guys are going through constant minute, second by second decision of fear of decisions. And one of the things as individuals, fear comes from, first of all, it comes from within ourselves. So we must build an internal strength or internal resources that allows us to be able to defeat the fear that comes from our own selves. Because for me, and that is the most important and significant form of fear that you can ever encounter. So the first part is for us to significantly defeat fear in ourselves. I've seen all of you, Abdullah, Abdurrahman, and Omar Sahel. All of you, I've seen all of you online, and I'm happy to connect with all of you wherever you are. And please do send your questions. Do let me know if you have any questions for me. So I was on the point that fear comes from within, and that is for me the most important fear that all of us have to overcome. Because for me, and personally, I think that is one of the things I did that has significantly transformed my life and continues to transform my life, is that defeating that internal fear, whether it's danger, whether it's pain. Because once you choose, life is all about choices, and there are easy choices and there are difficult choices. And for the people who really succeed and travel far and go far, they constantly have overcome that internal fear. All the people, all the great people you know in your life, I wouldn't want to mention names, all the great examples in your field, in your country that you are constantly going through that internal processing of overcoming fear. So it's very significant. I've seen comments from Agadara camp. I'm very happy to connect with all of you, and hope maybe this session becomes important or a blessing for all of you this morning. So I want to stress more today. As freelancers, I want to stress more on defeating that internal fear. And one of the significant things that you can use to defeat that internal fear is your confidence, it's your self-confidence, your self-belief, and then mastering what you do. So for me today, I think one of the decisions I took when I was doing my bachelor, even as I was reading mathematics, was to be a generalist. So a generalist is someone who reads and knows and reads about all things, all subjects, all topics. So today I can confidently stand on any platform and speak on any topic that you give me. Even if I don't know the topic, it wouldn't take me hours to prepare and come and deliver a very good content for you, because I train myself as a generalist. So as freelancers, one of the most significant things we must master is our craft, is our work, is what we do, because this is your unique selling point. That's what they call brand. That is your brand. So the job market is very saturated. There are a lot of people doing what you are doing. There are a lot of people who have better opportunity, better platforms than you have. So one of the significant things that helps you to constantly position yourself and get opportunities is to be able to overcome that internal fear and mastering what you do. Because once you go out to engage, people will want to know your qualifications, they want to know your background, they want to know whether you are qualified to do what you are doing. So mastering your craft is very important to overcoming any form of fear that will confront you in your career. And so learning essential life skills is also very important. I've talked about your self-confidence and mastering your craft. And life skills talks about all the essential skills that you need to know: creativity, how to communicate, how to page, how to create all these essential daily life skills. Small, we call it soft skills, but I will call it essential skills. So this skill set really help you to overcome all the form of fear that you. So the next form of fear, once you have battled with yourself, and today that is what most of us are confronted with, is the external fear that we always find ourselves. Because defeating that self-fear is not enough. You need to be able to go out there and communicate and really determine, overcome the environmental fear. The environmental fear starts from your family, starts from the home, starts from your wife, starts from your kids, starts from your close friends, people you love so much who are closer to you. They all confront you with some form of fear. They all put some ideas in front of you to overcome. So then today we are all bombarded with different kinds of information, different kind of obstacles that you need to overcome. And especially today, as freelancers, when you see job opportunities there, they put a lot of experiences, they put a lot of things there that we need to overcome. So we constantly have to deal with all this external fear that always comes around us. But I want to stress on the fact that if you are able to overcome the internal fear, it is necessary and sufficient. I'm using a mathematical term. It is necessary and sufficient for you to overcome most of the external fear that you will be confronted with in the mindset. So you are always going to have a lot of things that will come to you. People will tell you things. You are not qualified, you are not enough, you are not this, you are not that. People will label you in so many ways. But these are the things that comes to us. But once you are able to have that internal motivation, internal strength, you are always able to overcome that external fear that will be confronted with you. I want to close off with one typical example with the lockdown. I came from China somewhere in late January this year to Ghana, and immediately I actually spent some 3 days in Addis Ababa before I came. But back then I didn't know anything about coronavirus. But when I arrived here and started to put my business into shape, the virus came and I was hanging there. So one of the things I did was to start a webinar. Today, most of you, when you go check our Facebook page, Dadaab Africa, you'll find a webinar that we did. And the webinar that I did, the idea just came, let me do something. And today that webinar has gone all over the world, and we have gotten incredible people who have come to the webinar to speak. And most of the speakers I got for the webinar is I got them on LinkedIn. Let me stress that before I close this session. I got most of my speakers on LinkedIn. So freelancers, let's use social media a lot, position ourselves, put a good content out there that people will see that, oh, you know something that you can also share with other people. So I'm very excited to have been here today. I've seen all of you, Sadiq, Hawa, all of you have seen your incredible comments. So I'll pause here and invite questions if James is still here and you want to jump in before the questions come in. Thank you all so much. We didn't have much time, but I believe the little things, the little things shared with you will help you. So James, over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Musa Frimpong, for sharing us all these insightful ideas and ways of how to overcome the fear that we have. I can see a few questions probably on your dashboard. Maybe you can address so that we can see to support these individuals.
Okay, so I've seen a question. I'm not sure, the name didn't appear. But it says, what was your feeling when you see like you have a skill that's useful, but no one is interested, and how do you go about it? The name didn't come, but what I would say is that once you are, as an individual, you are so damn sure. I will simply tell you that all the things I've done in my life, I didn't ask permission from anyone. I didn't, it's very, mostly the kind of things I do when I speak to people, is even that time that I go back. But most of the time, I have to convince myself that I have this skill set, I believe in this idea, I believe in this project. Once I'm able to overcome that personal decision or personal fear that I really believe in this project. I really have this skill set. I can really go out there and do something. Don't listen to whatever people tell you. Don't look at what people are putting out there. Just go out there and start. Just go out there and start. And I will repeat, just go out there and start. Don't allow anybody to put you down. It is your skill set. Once you are very confident about it, once you know what you can do, and you are damn sure about it, go out there and position yourself and get something done. And how did you deal direct clients who communicate with you via LinkedIn? How did you believe and how did you start working with them? So one of the things I talk about, there are a lot of little secret to it. And then, but one of the things is about, like I said, I talk about building those core skill sets, life skills that allows you to communicate to people, that allows you to deal with clients, that allows you to take on all these big things that comes your way. So one of the things I do when I'm trying to approach people is communication skills, because I see communication as not just, even when it is phone call or it is an email or it is a text message or WhatsApp message, I don't think it is just a message. You have to put a lot of thought to it. You have to put a lot of design thinking into it, so that whatever you put out there will be accepted, will be appreciated. So one of the things I do on LinkedIn a lot is, people, there's one of the important concepts I learned. It's like everybody wants recognition. Everybody wants value. Everybody wants respect. So these three things should be mapped when you are dealing with people: recognition, value, and respect. So when you are approaching people, you have to have this thing at the back of your mind. No matter who the person is, whether the person is as below you or above you, have these three things at the back of your mind: recognition, value, and respect. So when you communicate, when you send a text message to people, when you send an email to people, let people read it from that. Oh, this person has recognized me, this person has valued me, this person has respected me. And trust me, once your message, your email, your text message, or your phone call has these three essential things, people will always reply to you, or people will always come back to you with something. And I try to also, LinkedIn is social media or communication is very important, that we master the craft of communication. You go to LinkedIn or places like LinkedIn, you don't go and say hi to someone and leave, or hello or good morning, and then you leave. No, it is a professional networking platform. So you want to say, good morning, Mr. So and so. I'm happy to connect with you, have you on my LinkedIn, and I'm very excited to learn from you. You might not know the person, but this is how you communicate with people, whoever you meet. I've seen things.
Really.
These were the two questions I saw. Unless James will have other things I want to.
Okay, well, I appreciate Mr. Musa for all these insights that you're actually giving us. Viewer, I know that there is a lot of questions that we already have for Mr. Musa to support us in our well-being and understanding the different dynamics of overcoming the fear that we have been facing in the past. However, as time has already gone, I would like all of us to keep posting our questions on the comment sections, and Mr. Musa will be here with us the whole of today, just answering our questions. That is the love he has already shown to us. Thank you so much, Mr. Musa, for this insightful engagement that you have really had for us. Thank you, all the freelancers from all the camps, Ifod, the Dadaab, the Gahale. We are very honored that all of you found time to be here. And that's the end of today's live broadcast. So watch out for the next live broadcast and make sure to comment, give us your thoughts, your questions, and we'll be able to respond. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.